My final video about Stanley Kubrick will focus on what I consider his most impressive streak of films: Dr. Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and A Clockwork Orange. I will try to explain the messages that Kubrick was trying to say with each of these films and their overlapping themes. Enjoy.
We now know that the Soviet Union, not content with Dr. Castro's oath of fealty, not content with the destruction of Cuban independence, has decided to transform Cuba into a base for communist aggression, into a base for putting all of the Americas under the nuclear gun.
4 months after the release of Lolita, the world was at the brink of nuclear war between the US and USSR. Thankfully, after 13 days, both nations made missile concessions in Cuba and Greece to end the standoff. This time the world dodged a bullet, but many feared that nuclear war was only inevitable. Out of this fear, Kubrick decided that his next film should be an expose on the horrors of nuclear combat. Like his previous film, Paths of Glory, that dramatically showed the consequences of war, Kubrick decided to make his nuclear war film a drama. The problem was that when writing the script, Kubrick and his collaborators would frequently burst into laughter and go on comedic tangents. They found that the subject matter was so ridiculous that the only way to protest the absurdity of nuclear war was to satirize it. With the help of co-writer Terry Southern, Dr. Strangelove would become the greatest black comedy ever made. Dr. Strangelove became a satire, but it revealed the serious pessimism Kubrick had for human beings. He showed that, as a species, humans were destined to destroy each other. Even after the Doomsday Machine's activation, each side is still plotting ways to conquer the other.
Cause any change in Soviet expansionist policy. We must be increasingly on the alert to prevent them from taking over other mine shaft space in order to breed more prodigiously than we do, thus knocking us out through superior numbers when we emerge. Mr. President, we must not allow a mine shaft gap.
Sir, I have a plan. Monsieur has been walked!
This lack of confidence for humanity made Kubrick try to find an answer that could end all conflicts on Earth. And that answer was in the stars. "2001: A Space Odyssey" displays Kubrick's one obsession: the violent nature of man. The Dawn of Man sequence shows that the only way man evolved was through violence and weaponry. The famous jump cut of a bone to a nuclear space bomb reveals that only weapons have evolved, and man has remained the same violent animal. The next scene at the space station shows that Cold War tensions still exist between America and Russia.
Quite frankly, we have had some very reliable intelligence reports that quite a serious epidemic has broken out at Cleves.
Sorry, Dr. Smyslov, but I'm really not at liberty to discuss this.
I can't help but juxtapose this polite chat between nations and the 2 packs of Neanderthals shown earlier in the film.
Now, are you sure you won't change your mind about that drink?
Now I'm positive. Oh, I really must be going.
Well, I hope that you and your wife can come to the IAC conference in June.
Well, we're going to try. I hope we can make it.
After all this time, humans are still segregating themselves between tribes and alliances. There has been great debate as to what the monolith is, what it does, and who places them. The theory that I accept is the one put forth by the book's author, Arthur C. Clarke, that the monolith is an alien tool that gives man another leap forward in evolution. The Star Child at the end of the film is the next leap. A Nietzschean Superman that is beyond fear, anger, and prejudice. Sadly, this being would only exist in the realm of science fiction. After 3 years of work, Kubrick's masterpiece was finally released on April 2nd, 1968, to less than enthusiastic crowds. The general public was not receptive to a slow-moving space drama when so many things were going wrong on Earth. Just 2 days before the premiere, President Johnson ended his re-election campaign, and America's confidence was still reeling after the Tet Offensive. During its initial run, the only box office the movie made was from repeat viewings from drugged-out hippies who usually walked in just to see the Stargate sequence. The film made money, but Kubrick was disappointed that the film did not connect with a wider audience. Because of this, we would never see Kubrick make another film about humanity's potential, only its flaws. After 2001's release, Kubrick encountered another disappointment. MGM decided to pull the plug on his dream project, Napoleon. Because of this, and a bad reputation that stuck with him after 2001, Kubrick decided that he needed to make a film quickly that was low in budget but grand in scale. He found his next film in Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange. If 2001 was trying to find hope for its audience, then A Clockwork Orange was trying to destroy any last hints of it. It reflected a world where people were disillusioned with all matters in society. All of the film's characters and institutions are ridiculed, from religion, right-wing authoritarianism, left-wing activism, science, and the family unit. The film ends up making a sad argument that Alex is the hero because his violent acts are at least honest, and don't hide behind any ideologies or causes. After A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick only made 4 more films before his death in 1999. To me, his latter films seem to have less momentum and clarity, and I think I know why. After the amazing streak of Strangelove, 2001, and Clockwork, Kubrick said everything he could say in film. After those 3 films, he looked as if he was searching, trying to find a new way to use the film medium. In the 1980s, he once told Steven Spielberg that he wanted to change the way stories were told in films, to change the form of cinema altogether. Whether he failed or succeeded at this goal is up to you. But no matter what, it will never take away from his greatest achievements. Thanks for watching.